Hey, Brenda, I'm going to prolong this. He's coming out right now. This is Andrew, folks. He just bailed out. He's coming out right now. Hey, Andrew. Andrew, do you have anything to say? Do you feel like you are guilty? Andrew, are you and your wife guilty?
Do you have anything to say in regard?
Are you in the process of adopting another child? Andrew, do you have a comment? Brenda, a very scary scene here off of Cherokee and Main Street in downtown Wagner. Now, if you see, it is a very active fire. You can see the firemen up in there, and that's actually Broken Arrow Fire Department. Now, there are about 13 agencies here trying to help battle this fire. Now, I did just speak with a local coffee shop worker, and they tell me that that building, right now they're at about 3-4 buildings that are being impacted by this, and actually the building that's on fire was a vacant building. It's the former firehouse from years ago. Now, they also tell me that they're very concerned. They heard that there was some roof work going on, and that's what sparked the fire, and it's been going on for about 2 hours now. So this is a very active fire 2 hours later. Now, I do want to put it in perspective. I'm going to hop back onto the camera. Now, these workers did tell me that this is their third fire within the last 6 years. In 2017, actually, where we're standing right now, this is where 4 other historical buildings were caught fire, and you can kind of see the remnants of these former buildings. And they said just not long ago, there was also another fire of just a smaller magnitude. So again, this community has been hit really hard with fires within the last several years, and this is just one more historical building and structure that's on fire. Now, I did get to speak with the emergency management folks, and they are not going to do an interview till about 6 because this is not under control yet, as you can see. Let's take one more look before we bring it back to you, Brenna. Just how crazy it is. Now, we're dealing with winds as well. That's not helping the case at all, is what I'm being told by fire crews. So you can just see how hard they're having to work, and that smoke going right to them. Like, again, we're battling wind here. But for right now, that's all the information I have, and I'm going to have to send it back to you, Brenda, and I will have a bigger update and more information for you coming up at 6. For now, live in Wagner County, I'm Tanya Modersitzki. It may look like I'm playing some soccer. Well, I mean, I am, but I'm also applying physics to this. So coming up, how TPS and FC Tulsa are using soccer as a science lesson. That's right, Brenna. Now, there is one person, it was the owner's daughter, who is in the hospital for stitches. And also the family tells me they did not get any type of tornado siren, just a notification on their phone about 5 minutes before. So everyone was out in the yard doing work. Now, I spoke with the owner, Salad Bang, who's also a pastor at New Healing Ministries. Now, this is where the new church is going to be. And he says if this building wasn't here, the situation could have been a lot worse. So it's still under construction. There's not missing a roof, but there is some damage done to it. But if you come over this way now, this is where his RVs are, and this is where you can start seeing the damage. You see where the carport is kind of just tilt over. You see beams of wood, I'm assuming from the construction, and just other things. So there's just a lot of damage over here, but you can see now, he tells me this is 10 acres of land. So this is 5 acres, and then from here on, there's another 5 acres. And so you can see some of the metal from the shed and the home that kind of flew way yonder. Now, he also tells me that because they did not get notice and it was clear there was nothing too crazy, they were out in the yard doing work. And so you can see this is what was once their shed, where had their chickens and other livestock. Now you can see a couple of the chickens roaming around, but unfortunately out of 12 there are now only 4 left. And like I had mentioned, his kids were outside doing yard work, and because there was no notice, they do have storm security over there. You can see that metal box, that's where they were supposed to go, but because of lack of notice, and he says it was so quick that no one had time to run to safety. Well, TJ, before I get to this home and this neighborhood behind me, I just kind of want to show you the path we saw. So there's some damage over here on this other side of the pond. You can see that home has some tarp on it, and it looks like that the tornado may have jumped this little man-made pond here and then started hitting this neighborhood where there's a lot of devastation. As you can see, this home behind me does not have a roof right now. The front is completely exposed. There's insulation everywhere, and you can see just in this backyard here, you can tell that there was a playground or something right here, because playground equipment are just scattered in the front. And then also something was here, blew away, and you can just see this fence is completely obliterated. Patio furniture messed up, and it's just a crazy scene here. And I don't know if you can see this house back yonder, completely patched up as well. And there's another home that they're starting to go ahead and put some new wood down and kind of re-sculpting the roof here so they can go ahead and put some more shingles on it. But I spoke with many residents about the devastation. Here's what some had to say.
Shay and Rick, yep, as you mentioned, this is the card out of the Community Chest Chance card pile. It says, support black-owned businesses on Greenwood, pay $50. Now, supporting black-owned businesses is not a bad thing, but business owners here on Greenwood say it was the right intention, wrong execution of the idea, because when you pay any type of chance or community chess piece on Monopoly, it goes to the bank and not the businesses.
In this email, State Superintendent Ryan Walters sent to public school families Thursday night, he's encouraging families to sign his petition for school meal reform that makes districts figure out how to foot the bill for student lunches. After his original announcement earlier this week, it left districts wondering, where will this money come from?
The answer to that is they can.
In the recent email to families, he says claims that districts don't have the funds are false.
This is absolute gaslighting from superintendents.
He alleges Bixby Public Schools has a $43 million surplus in their budget. Deer Creek has $48 million, Piedmont has $18 million, and Broken Arrow has a whopping $109 million surplus. Broken Arrow responding saying the district does not have a $109 million surplus. Piedmont saying its fiscal year 25 cash balance is more than $6 million. While Deer Creek says they're wondering how Walters got these numbers because Deer Creek has not reported our 2024-25 fiscal year data to OSDE as it is not due until September 1st. These amounts he came up with, districts are saying, are illegal, saying this alleged surplus can only be derived by legally adding all funds: bond funds, debt service funds, student-raised funds, scholarship funds, workers' comp funds. These cannot be legally added together and used except for their intended purpose. And these funds cannot be used for daily operational expenses or salaries. That this information being distributed is inaccurate and will require districts to violate existing state and federal finance laws.
Every dollar that they account for has to go to what they say it does, so there shouldn't be a surplus.
That is a very astute question. So this is where we get the numbers. They do. So what they do at the end of every year, and they are allowed to do this, they are allowed to carry dollars over and say, here's where every dollar goes, but we're not going to spend these dollars this year. We are going to carry them over.
According to Walters, on average, a lunch costs $3. He says districts get $13,000 per child, so for the year, it'll be less than $500 for every child to eat, and to use that $13,000 each child is given to feed them.
Walter says districts are starting to submit their budgets to OSDE, which is a requirement, and they have to approve those budgets as part of their accreditation process. If districts don't have a line item for covering lunches, he says he'll send it right back.
Many people in Wagner are wondering if the human waste and toilet paper in the creek is still an issue or if the problem has been flushed away.
Well, the DEQ said that the 7th would be the day that they would tell us, so we've been just waiting to see.
Well, the deadline has arrived to fix what folks in Wagner County are calling a disgusting issue. But according to City Councilor Nathaniel Wilson,
By the photos from the DEQ, there's still toilet paper and crap all over the ground. There's no water. It's not wet. It's dry crap. Not sure if that's better.
the DEQ says the follow-up inspection was actually done Monday before the city council meeting where councilors voted to pay for the parts to fix the wastewater drainage issue. The DEQ did confirm the issue was fixed, something Wilson says is a surprise to him.
No, I had no idea. They don't communicate at all.
Especially since the inspection from Monday shows 4 minor deficiencies and a major deficiency that dates to the end of July. It states that the disinfection facility is not maintained, posing a safety risk. Wilson says this contradicts what Mayor Dalton Self put in the environmental report for councilors that was made a week before, the same week as the reported wastewater leakage.
Put in their departmental report that everything's great. The reports were fantastic. The numbers are fantastic. But it wasn't. Everything's broken at that time.
News Channel 8 asked Mayor Self about the discrepancies from this week's earlier findings.
What about DEQ saying that there were 3 violations?
Okay.
Self says there are no issues anymore.
DEQ has been there. We've followed all the steps necessary. They're happy with what we've done, and we're fine.
According to the DEQ, this isn't the first time Wagner's wastewater treatment plant has had issues. In fact, the DEQ says there's still outstanding deficiencies from earlier this year, something they say the wastewater treatment plant tells the DEQ they're working on resolving.
The DEQ report from April said the aerator's broken, the hedge works, corrosion, a lot of the wires are corroded. There's a lot of issues that were repeat issues from February's report, so they still haven't fixed.
Self says he was told the waste did not make it to the Verdigris River. Tanya Modersitzki, News Channel.
It's loud, and I just went back screaming, everybody get in the bathroom, get in the bathroom.
Owasso residents Kathleen Blue and Jennifer Lang described the terrifying wake-up call they had Wednesday morning just after 6:30.
Sounded like a freight train and a jet engine going over. It was loud, and first thing I heard was something hit my roof, and it turned out it was the roof of a neighbor 2 houses down that had blown over the tree and landed on my roof and knocked a hole in my roof.
I woke up to my phone going off and literally put my kids in the closet, walked down the hallway, and as soon as I got to the hallway around to the front door, it sounded like a jet and a train had landed right on the top of the house. So I took off around the corner, ran back to the closet with my kids and told them to hold on to each other and cover their heads.
Lang says the tornado ripped through the neighborhood within minutes.
We had no time to prepare for this one.
When they walked outside to see how bad the damage was, they say it looked like a war zone.
Right now they're trying to get the tree off just to see what kind of damage. We have garage damage, car damage, there's fence damage in the back.
As residents start to clean up and face the loss of their homes and belongings, neighbors who were not impacted by the tornado jumped in to help.
Everybody just came in and started cutting limbs and sawing, and got it within 2 hours. We could get down our street.
Humanity is amazing because there were so many people out here this morning helping us clean up, just strangers, just random people bringing food and water and counseling services, and I mean, it's just, it makes you feel great about humanity and things like that.
I wanted to give you a look at the front of this home. Again, you can see that it is completely exposed, insulation everywhere. Just a really upsetting time for many families here in Owasso. And here's some of the playground equipment that I referred to just a few minutes ago that are in the front. And you can see, oh goodness, it looks like some kids' artwork and paperwork. I guess I'll pick this up and make sure that they have this, because stuff like this is important. Families lose this and it's gone forever, and this little stuff that no one thinks about means a lot to people that are looking for things like this. And when we're talking about families and neighbors giving back and helping those who were impacted, a woman passing out water who doesn't even live in this neighborhood to roofers, contractors, families, and even media. So this really just shows the camaraderie and everything that's going on here, that people are coming together. Live, Tanya Modersitzki, News Channel 8.